Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it's still April. And as much as I admire the enthusiasm, I feel like this sign here might be hung a little prematurely. It's the sometimes vlog. Yeah, there's a bush. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. Behind me is all kinds of crazy construction and people in business suits walking from Floppy Jack's restaurant over to the gas station, probably to buy Mountain Dew like I just did, staring at people laying concrete down over there as they build a new car wash at my beloved Chevron station. I hate when they do that. I hate when they change it. I used to have a parking lot over there where I used to sit and just look at things, and now there's going to be a different parking lot I have to sit in. How dare you? Just how dare you? Welcome back, everybody, to the vlog. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. You know that if you're subscribed to this channel, that if you're part of this team and you're on this adventure, that you never know what you're going to get. It's always going to be completely random, like starting my day and my vlog in the rain on the side of the road next to the 55 freeway in a parking lot. I actually started this vlog about 8 times over there on the other side of the construction, always trying to get a great shot, and cars kept drowning me out. I dropped the phone once. It was a little frustrating, so I've decided that we needed to start over. Also, I've been standing in the rain for a super long time out here, and then I just realized right now, like, I've got a car. We could do it, we could talk in there. I mean, right? Just checking, because when I got in the car this morning, the windows were actually down. I did not expect it to rain. As a matter of fact, my ignorant plan, because I could have probably just checked the weather, maybe, was to go to the desert all weekend and have all kinds of wacky desert adventures with you. Of course, 2 things ruined this plan. Number 1, the rain. I don't know if you know this, but the rain, when it rains out in the desert, and it's raining all the way to Nevada pretty much for several days on and off, can be very, very dangerous in the desert, specifically to the places I wanted to go, which are kind of up these washes and things where the roads get washed out every time there's like a half an inch of rain and all this kind of stuff. And number 2, last night I've been doing so good about resting my hurt leg. If you don't know, I've been suffering with this ankle sprain or some kind of weird tendon pull or something ever since I was in France. And I've been trying to stay off it, relying a little more on edits than I normally do on this channel and stuff, to very, I think, fun effect. But I've been staying off my leg, mostly elevating, doing all this stuff, filming the vlog, and then going home diligently and trying to do all those other errands that I don't normally do, and procrastinate, and doing things like sitting in an insurance office for 3 hours yesterday while I switched to AAA from Mercury, which bores even me, and I was there, you know, to hear about, so I don't want to. But anyway, I've been doing my my due diligence and staying for the most part off that leg, icing and elevating and all this stuff. But last night I was like, okay, I gotta go sit at my desk and work on some Randomland videos, the edited normal Randomland videos. And so I went to sit down in my desk chair, and just out of habit, like I always do, I was sitting there for a while doing some editing. I got up, went to the bathroom, I came back, and out of habit I stuck my ankle, the bad one, under my butt. Like, you know, you tuck your ankle like under your butt and sit on your ankle, and it felt like it exploded. I felt it just hurt. So there's still plenty of stuff to go do today. There's plenty of stuff that I really need to get to go and do right now, but I wanted to start the vlog. I just wanted to talk about some of the stuff that's going on, because a lot of people, keep leaving me comments over and over and over again. Where's Randomland, bro? How come you haven't posted a video to your other channel? So here's the deal. For those of you who are like, I just want to see you do something funny, maybe you skip ahead a few minutes, you can scroll through the YouTube video and go beyond this part of the conversation. But for those of you who are interested, I have a long and boring, maybe, or interesting, could be the most boring story of your life, or it could be the most fascinating, but I'll tell you. This is something that's been bothering the heck out of me. I kid you not, for like 6 to 9 months. Some of you know that. We've been talking back and forth on Periscope or Facebook Live or here or different places, and you've heard me talk a little bit about this before. Basically, when I started the Randomland videos, which is how I started on YouTube, I would take a nice DSLR camera, I would go down to Disneyland and do little videos about my time at Disneyland. But they were like little adventures. Some of them would be little videos about little facts there, like, oh, here's this urban legend or here's this thing. But sometimes it would just be straight up Here's a little adventure I'm having. Let's go. I started the vlog to just fill in the gaps between Randomland. It's like, oh, I'll do this vlog over here, and it'll be the sometimes vlog, and it'll happen on this other channel. It'll only happen every once in a while, and it'll only be for people who just care what I'm interested in. They're not here for Randomland, you know, they're here for me. Well, fast forward a while, and these guys came along, my good friends, who had a little business project, studio thing, whatever you want to call it, called Utmost Studios. Basically my friend Matt and my friend Doug. And also at the same time, my buddy Tyler had moved here from Georgia, and he was like, I want to get on board, let's make a whole project, let's focus on Randomland. Everybody kind of put their heads together last year in 2015 and was like, maybe we could try scripting out Randomlands, and Tyler could like write some scripts because he's a writer, and Utmost Studios guys like, we'll edit Randomland and we'll do some graphics and different stuff. So I actually, instead of going somewhere and filming, oh, here's what I think is interesting, and I think this, and I think this should be in here, and this shot, and this shot, and then I put it together, it became more like, all right, I gotta go in here and film like everything. I gotta film the sun visor perfectly, and then I gotta film like the window, and then I gotta film the little knob, and then get this detail, because I don't know when it's edited together what the final product is going to be. So it became more complicated. Instead of saying, wow, look at this steering wheel, whatever would come to my mind at the time when I would shoot it the old school way, or like what I shot at Knott's the other day, or when I shot the Louvre, which is the only really spontaneous Randomland lately. But like when I went to Knott's the other day on this channel, that video, if you go back and watch it, or when I went to Area 51 recently with George for Randomland, I would have gone, look at this steering wheel, it's so round, or whatever, right? When I was filming Randomland for Utmost to edit, I'd be like, all right, well, we want to say this the most accurate way, so I'd be like, look at the steering wheel, it's so round, and then I'd pull the camera this way and maybe go like, look at the roundness of the steering wheel. You'll notice that the steering wheel, like others, is round. And I would do like 20 different ways of saying each little sentence, each little cut. I probably said 5 or 6 different times in 5 or 6 different ways. The reason for that was to give whoever's editing the video as much freedom as they can to do it a different way, to shape the tone of it, all this stuff. But basically, long story short, the Utmost Studios guys, they had whole different things happen in their life. Doug got a new girlfriend, and Matt had to do a whole new thing with a whole new job and a whole thing. And so those guys were like, man, we had a lot of fun working on these for a year, but we are going to move on to other things. Also, my buddy Tyler, he left and went back to Georgia. Everybody else who was working with me went to do different projects. No bad blood, no arguments with anybody, nothing like that at all. Now, timing-wise, this all happened like kind of close together. So for me, I was like, I don't know what to do now. I was filming all these things a certain way to do this certain project with these certain people, but now I've got this vlog channel that I'm posting on almost every day, and those people are like connected with me. You guys are really connected with me. You stay up to date with what I'm doing. You're like more, I feel like this channel has more of a, we as a group, the Sometimes mob here, are more like, hey, where are we going on? What's the next adventure that we're doing together? Versus people who are watching the Live Fast Die Poor channel, the Randomland stuff, mostly care about Disney or the different subjects that I'm covering. And so I was like, well, I got to keep this going. I got to keep this going. So I just sort of autopilot kept filming Randomland the same way. And so what I have now are these Randomlands backed up on my computer where I've got, let's see, 4 or 5 different videos that I went and shot like that are like completely way over complex for somebody to shoot and just edit by themselves, because I was just going kind of like the way I've been doing it for the past year. And they're sitting there on a hard drive. By the way, there was 3 or 4 that Utmost was going to edit that never got edited. There's all the kinds of stuff that backed me way up to where when I am home and I'm done, I've done the vlog, I've done all this different stuff, I get home and there's all this stuff there that I'm like, oh, this is going to take 3 or 4 days to edit this video. So I'll do a little bit on it, and then I'm like, well, I got to go and do this to film the next video, or to do this. And it just starts to back up and pile up. Now let's add to this that for a while, like this is all in the fall as they started to slow down Utmost, and they were only going to work on a couple more videos, and Tyler started to leave and all this different stuff. So all from fall all the way through now, to Disney World trips and Paris trips and going to the desert and all this stuff, this is all going on. And during that time last year, I also picked up doing Periscope, live streaming things. I was doing sometimes 6 to 8 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week, like constantly. I was doing Snapchat stories that were 30 minutes long, sometimes longer, with 10-second video clips. I don't know if you've ever tried to put together a Snapchat story that's 30 minutes long with 10-second video clips or shorter, but it takes a lot of your day. Also posting on the trips especially, dozens, if not, hundreds of Instagram pictures, and trying to keep up with Twitter and comments and mail and all kinds of other stuff. When you look at the big picture, it's really no surprise for some of you who were along with me in the vlogs during that time, that I was starting to get really burnt out. It's funny looking over here at those guys pouring concrete into forms over here for their job out in the rain, because I used to have that job. I used to do that. One of my first jobs ever was with my skinny little muppety arms carrying these big heavy hoses with concrete coming out and jackhammering up concrete and doing all that stuff. And while in some ways that job was simpler and therefore kind of mentally easier for me, I'm super grateful that this right now is my job instead, believe me. So I want to do a really good job, and all during that time I was really like pushing myself, like I gotta do a good job. These people, like, they buy the shirts and they do Patreon and they support me and they do all this kind of stuff, and it's the most fun I've ever had. It's the best job I've ever had, and I really want to do a good job. But I was really like not leaving any room to have a life, not leaving any room to get inspired or read a book or be creative or do anything. I was just burning the candle at both ends. Lost my team to edit, lost my team for this. Tyler went home, all kinds of stuff. So I was just doing it by myself, doing all this work that was kind of like unsustainable. It was also, more importantly, becoming like really not fun. The Randomland channel was becoming really not fun because I was still shooting as if I was going to work on this project with all these other people. And so I kind of was shooting for people that no longer existed in a way that I didn't need to or want to. So instead of going somewhere and going, oh man, I'm inspired that I have this crazy funny idea, or there's this interesting little tidbit I know about this that I'd really like to share with people, it was like, all right, what, would the team most like to hear and all this stuff. But there wasn't a team. Like, it's just this weird thing where you continue on in old habits and patterns instead of doing what I really wanted to do. So if you look at the vlog from a couple days ago at Knott's Berry Farm, that's more me. That's more like, hey, that's what I wanted to do today. Let's go have fun and do this. Oh, I have this funny idea. Let's do this. And then this is the funny thing that I just thought of or whatever. And it's spontaneous and it's cool. And it's exactly what I started this to do. That really should have been a Randomland. The thing is, in my head, I probably would have thought, well, I can't do that Randomland because I got all these other videos backed up that I need to edit and do whatever. And also, I would have thought, well, if I shoot this as a Randomland and go get the other camera and all this stuff and shoot it as a Randomland video with a nicer camera, I won't have a vlog today. So I'm going to try to have to put these two things into one thing. Not in one channel. That's at first what I was thinking. I was thinking I'll put both on one channel. That way when I do a Randomland video, I'll go back to doing whatever I want for Randomland, right? I'll just do whatever I want. If it's 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. If it's 50 minutes, it's 50 minutes. But I'm going to do Randomland however I want. Yeah, I've already made that decision, of course. And nobody was telling me not to. It's just that I got old ones to edit still in the pipe that I'm like, oh, I can only edit so much at once. And I've got 3 different computers with 3 different edits going right now. It's too much. But now I realize, no, don't put the 2 on one channel. Keep the Randomlands a little nicer, edited, a little nicer camera work and all this stuff over here, and then keep the vlog channel how it is, more personal, more talking about me. And I really appreciate everyone who subscribes to this channel because it feels like you're more with me. I don't know if that makes any sense or whatever. And you just never know what you're going to get over here. Sometimes you're going to get terrifying creatures pulling me into the gates of heck in a storage facility. Sometimes you're going to get talking pimples. Sometimes you're going to get puppets. And sometimes you're going to get me wandering around, edited or unedited, talking about nonsense pretty much for hours and hours and hours. So you're never going to know what you're going to get on this channel. I'm going to keep it random, which is funny. But I'm also bringing the random back to Randomland this year, especially as I'm about to go on this road trip, or hopefully potential road trip. I'm at least trying to save some money so I can hopefully go on this road trip in May. I'm like, how do I do this? Do I do it all in vlogs? Do I shoot some Randomlands, none Randomlands? How do I shoot the Randomlands? So it's a big deal. And I know some people are going, first world problems, I gotta pay my rent. But for me, I just want to do the best job possible. So I do stress out about this stuff just as much as I stress out about an injury or I stress out about anything, because I want to do a good job. I take it really seriously. Just because a lot of what I do is fun doesn't mean that I shouldn't take it seriously, right? Work hard and be nice. Those are my rules. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. That's kind of what's been going on in my brain. So I have new ideas for Randomland and new credits and new kind of stuff coming. But for everybody that's asking, when are the Randomlands coming? How come there hasn't been videos on that other channel? It's because I've been doing, I think, a lot of cool fun stuff on this channel, and I've been editing those, but a lot of it's like I'm laying in my bed with my friggin' legs stuck up in the air doing taxes and crap like that. So it hasn't exactly been a fun one in April so far, but it's getting there. We're gonna have all kinds of adventures. So don't worry, I didn't abandon the Randomland channel. If anything, that's going to come back in a stronger way. But anyway, I gotta get out of this parking lot because it's getting all foggy and Titanic-y in here, and I'm by myself, and as much as I like to just, kind of unwind in here and get all steamy with myself. It's weird now, so we gotta go. Bam! That right there is Maddie Lou Maxwell Elementary School. I went to half of my kindergarten right there, right here in the heart of West Anaheim. And right over here, bam, is my first destination of the day. Best Magic. Best Magic is one of those magic stores and costume shop type of things. This thing has been around forever and ever and ever. When I was a little kid, my brother Seth was like obsessed with magic, and he used to come here and buy like magic sets. We'd come in and look at all the costumes and get yelled at by those guys because they have like the adult novelties that you're not supposed to look at, like the Force Spencer's kids. So anyway, I gotta go inside. They've got 38 years worth of stuff in here. Some of it is pretty weird, especially this guy right behind me. Dun dun dun! I'm trying to get them to sell me something I once rented from this place. And if they won't do it, George is here to punch him and steal it. Right, George? He's laughing, but he's totally gonna do it, right? We're kinda counting on you, man. Look, George, a butt. You really think that's funny too? That's the best thing ever. White pirate. Oh, this is scary. That's just something so terrifying about you. I never thought I would see this again. Dude, George, true story. In the 90s, my mom was the manager of this apartment complex, and we rented this Easter Bunny costume, this exact one, and I was the Easter Bunny for all the kids. Somewhere I will find a picture of this and post it. If it wasn't this exact one, it was one exactly like it from this place. Equally this George, this like 11-year-old Justin was wearing this.
It's scary, man.
Doesn't that like make you feel warm inside, probably? It's just like the old days. Give me back those Easter eggs, buddy. You don't deserve them. I gave them to the wrong guy, and now my boss wants them back. You're gonna give them back to me, right? What are you looking at? George, how much money would I have to pay you to wear that I Dream of Jeannie costume? How much money?
I wouldn't do it.
Come on, man. Why not?
I wouldn't do it.
Not even for the Sometimes mob, like just for their amusement and fun?
Sorry, guys.
Why don't you care about anyone but yourself, George? Huh? I don't think they know what Uncle Sam looks like. Oh, George, come here. Look at this. Look at it. Go look at it. Look at it.
I see it from here.
Here, you're looking at it? Do you get a good look?
Yeah.
Your wife's gonna be so mad!
Clean up space.
Oh, snap. The deluxe.
Clean up parts. Clean up parts.
I need this.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta have that.
Make motoring more fun.
Well, they wouldn't just outright sell me what I came for, but it's still here and it looks promising. Meantime, George, like, literally disappeared because he had to pee and there's no public restroom in the Best Magic. So if there was another magic store next door with a restroom, then they'd probably have to change their name to Second Best Magic, because I'd pick that too. I gotta go to the bathroom, and I can't go to the bathroom now because George left me to go to the bathroom. These are the things that happen in your life, you know? The moments. Well, George literally went to the bathroom and never came back. So as long as I'm over here in West Anaheim, I got one other place I'd really like to visit. Tiki Apartment! Beach and ball. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. This is definitely a colorful part of town with a cast of equally colorful characters. I once saw a lady who used to be a man who lived at that motel right there spit in a bus driver's eye. right over. So, because I worked over here at this little theme park called Adventure City over there, and that's a true story. So, that's not what I'm here for though. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy is of course a Star Wars quote. Because of The Force Awakens, I've been watching Star Wars a lot, not just the new movie, but also all the old movies. And because of that, maybe when I woke up from crazy leg pain last night in the middle of the night, I ordered on eBay a TIE Fighter pilot action figure from 1982, which was the last Empire Strikes Back vintage Star Wars action figure I need for my collection, which means I am now beginning my path towards Return of the Jedi. I have a few Return of the Jedi figures, but I need more. And although Beach and Ball may be famous for its homeless and partially homeless and crazy characters out here, it was also famous in the local area for having a whole bunch of toy shops. Now at one point there were several toy shops over here, including Fat Collectibles, but they have since moved away. However, one vintage toy store remains in the hood. It's kind of the honey hole if you're an American Pickers fan. I love it. It's called Kelly's Toy Stop. This place is awesome and random and legit. I don't know how friendly they are towards filming in here because I've never done it. And I'm only in here really quick, just in and out, but I think I can show you a few sneaky clips of what it looks like inside of here. There you are.
What happened?
Longest bathroom trip ever, bro. I want it all, but especially that Darth Vader mask right there. But I cannot afford. George just said he wants Sam the Eagle. You pretty much are Sam the Eagle, like the real life grumpy, I love America, and I hate everyone else.
I hate communism.
I know you do. I was about to be like, George, you ever seen a place like this? And I remember that whole vlog we did in a very similar toy store in Las Vegas.
Oh
So,
yeah, I remember that.
You've been somewhere like this.
That wasn't too long ago.
This is still a good place though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Look at this, man. Sacrilege. I mean the fact that Yoda has a lightsaber, not the Pikachu mask, that's fine. Prequels. George, do you remember these Savage Mondo Blitzers? Because I don't either, but look at the guy on top, he's playing blood hockey.
Oh.
That right there just looked like something that you would be really interested in. Does that interest you, George?
There are razors at the end of his stick there.
Ooh, that's just like your hockey stick. I'll buy that for you if you want.
No thanks.
George hates my friendship.
Hates
my friendship. Aha! Secret present you can't see because it's a present for someone for their birthday coming up. But look at this. Next door to Kelly's is also this. My D pins. They sell a heck of a lot of Disney pins in there, so if you collect Disney pins, you should go in there, George. You like Disney pins, right?
I like a few.
What?
I only have a few.
You only have a few?
Yeah.
So you're not a pinhead? I could tell, you're a squarehead. I'm a bad friend. There used to be a much better shop in this same spot that has now moved on, but if you like Disney pins, this is the place for you.
I can call them.
What I like about this place is sometimes, just sometimes in the back, they'll have vintage Star Wars stuff. Seems like I'm mostly out of luck today. They got some prequel stuff though, so freaking George will be stoked. George loves the prequels because he has no soul or imagination or heart. And he also loves Jar Jar Binks. Oh, hey George! Mostly though here, lots and lots of Disney pins. Pin, bin, sin, in, pin, something funny about pin. There's gotta be something. I gotta think of something. I got nothing. Maybe like pants. I could work pants in, pins and pants somehow. To be honest with you, I give him a hard time because he's so serious all the time. He really is the human equivalent of Sam the Eagle, but I really like George. That guy is actually really sweet and really nice. He has a heart of gold. I just like ribbing him because he's so serious all the time that he's like, I'm gonna punch you, man. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Bam! This is another awesome Anaheim place right here. They actually have several Zanku chickens in Southern California. A little Middle Eastern food right here. It's delicious. It's really good. And I've been trying to convince George forever to eat it with me. He swears that he hates Middle Eastern food and that it stinks and smells. So I told him right now, just come on, let's just pull over here, just come inside, take one sniff, just take one sniff. Zanku chicken is so good. So, how's it smell, neighbors?
Smells horrible.
I'll give you 3 guesses where we ended up going to eat because George is intolerant of other cultures' foods. Thanks a lot, George. I'm gonna eat my cheeseburger over here by myself. You eat a cheeseburger over there by yourself. Just so you know, mine will be gluten-free. This table will remain uncontaminated and tolerant of other cultures' foods. George, you like Indian food? Dude, you are. Dude, you ever notice that even though Red Robin is like all changed and updated and like looks totally different now, they still have this stupid
American
flag made of baseballs.
baseball flag.
Look at this gluten-free deliciousness right here. George just told me that he brought his son here, and his son came and stuck these up on his arms and said, "Look at me on the shredder." That's kind of the best story ever. It's so cute.
I love my son.
You ruined it with your not smiling though. There you go. All right, George has now gone home to sleep well, so that's just you and me now. Tomorrow, I plan on actually going to an urgent care for this leg because it has really not been getting that much better. It just keeps up and down, up and down. I just want to make sure, get it x-rayed probably. Oh, there's nothing broken, just keep it elevated and stay off it. That's all they're gonna say. But better to actually hear from the doctor than just keep guessing that. You know what I mean? Well, the theme of today is cold, wet, windy, and loud, so we might as well end here, last but not least, right down the street from Disneyland at Fat Collectibles, P-H-A-T. This place used to be over there on Beach and Ball as well, but instead now it's over here on Ball and Euclid, just a little bit away from Disneyland. Also a place of crazy stuff. Just before I was filming right now, I thought we were going to see our first Punch-Out on the Sometimes vlog because there were 2 dudes arguing right here and they were gonna punch each other, and then the bus came up and both of them were like, all right, and like kind of handshaked each other before they got on the bus. Like, we could fight on the shitty street, but once we're on the bus, we gotta play it cool, guys. Anyway, I'm gonna hop in here really quick for the last stop of the day. As you can see, this place used to be a Hollywood Video. It has since been converted to hold all kinds of crazy comic books like The Bounce, everyone's favorite hero. And this guy, Captain Hole in his chest. He's like waiting for his lantern. He's gonna hold it. Or is he punching? No? What a fun one. As you can see, this place also has many fine collectible products. Remember these cool guys? Or him? Or them? Or shim? I don't know what that is.
Jeez, put some clothes on, ladies.
Well, I'm here for none of those things and my leg is starting to ache, so I gotta get down to brass tacks, down to business, and look for vintage Star Wars. Got some Star Wars here, kinda. Star Wars, yeah. Oh, this is looking better, getting a little older. Any second now, gonna see the vintage stuff. This is cool. Snaggletooth is in there. Not vintage though. This is definitely not vintage. What is this? And also, how dare you? Looks like we struck out today, kids. Lots of cool 90s Star Wars stuff. But no original vintage Star Wars stuff. But if I've learned anything from this crazy mixed up life, it's this. There's always tomorrow, and you never know who's going to bring in something they want to sell that you want to buy, and then you'll get it and have it later. So, the moral of the story. Make sure to subscribe for some more videos. Visit livefastdieport.spreadshirt.com for some t-shirts. And also know this, I'm not leaving empty-handed because I found this. And I'm gonna find some super awesome abandoned desolate parking lot to light this thing on fire with and redeem my day. Thanks for coming along with me. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Oh no! Me's are gonna melt! Me's are not gonna have an okay day!